Hello, San Ramon upper grades. This is your third art lesson of the year. Hopefully the next one we will have supplies sent home and we'll be using some of the new supplies you'll get. But in the meantime, we're going to do a cool symbolic self-portrait, because even though you may know a lot of your classmates because you've probably been at San Ramon for a while and you might know a lot of the people in your class, your teachers probably don't know a lot about you. And usually, if you can recall, think about the past years you've had at San Ramon, you spend the first few weeks of school really getting to know each other. And especially your teacher loves getting to know you guys. That's what makes this job fun, right? We like you. We like getting to know you. And on Zoom, it's a little trickier to get to know you. So I thought this would be a fun activity as a way that you could teach your teacher a little bit more about you and what makes you tick. Okay, so again, we're going to be using our imagination. And I'll show you what that means in a minute, because it's not really going to look like you. It's going to look a little bit like you. Part of it's going to look like you, and the rest of it's just going to be about you. So we're going to be doing what's called a self-portrait, which many of you know. You've probably done these most years you do some form of a self-portrait at the beginning of the school year. So this is not unlike any other year, but this is a little bit of a twist of a self-portrait. So a self-portrait is, of course, if a portrait is a drawing of a person or a painting of another person, what would a self-portrait be? Let you think about that for a second. That's right. A self-portrait means it's a picture of you, a drawing of you, yourself, okay? Like a biography or an autobiography, same thing. A biography is a book about a person. An autobiography is a book about the person who's actually writing the book, okay? Does that make sense? So self-portrait's about you, and this self-portrait is going to be symbolic. I'm going to let you think about, what does the word symbolic mean? Do you hear another word in that word? Symbolic. Oh, I hear the word symbol in there. Okay, so what does a symbol mean? What's a symbol? A symbol is like a picture of something that represents something else. So sometimes you're on a hiking trail and you might see a sign that says this. I'm not going to do a good job with my drawing here, but you'll get the idea. And you'll say, oh, that means no. It's supposed to be a dog, if you're not sure. No dogs. Not no horses. It looks a little bit like a horse too, but no, it means no dogs. So that's a symbol of a dog. Okay, it doesn't say the word no dog. It's a symbol of it. So you're going to do that in your self-portrait. You're going to be putting symbols of things about you. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do, and like the other art video, I'm going to recommend, why don't you watch this whole thing first, see what it's all about, then gather all the materials, and then you can watch it again to actually do it yourself. So take a piece of paper or a whiteboard or whatever you have available to you, and I want you to list things about you, things that you want your teacher, your classmates, people to know about you, things that are important. So for me, I'm going to write I'm a tennis player, at least I was for a long time. And the way I'm going to symbolize tennis is with a tennis ball. They're yellow, so I'll try to make mine yellow. I like to hike, so I'll probably do some form of a hiking boot. My hiking boots keep looking like snow boots. I don't really know why. Cooper is my dog. So somehow I will figure out a way to put Cooper on my picture. His big eyes, his big nose. He usually has a tongue that sticks out. I love to do pottery. Some people know that about me. And you'll learn more about that as the year goes on, probably. I have a family. I have a husband named Josh, or Mr. Jasmine. I have a daughter named Elise. She's got long brown hair. It's kind of curly. She's almost as tall as her dad now. It's kind of crazy. And then there's Paige, who's just a little bit shorter, but not much. She's catching up. So Lisa's in college, and Paigey is a senior in high school. I also love the San Francisco Giants. And the way I think I'd represent them is to do that SF logo. I love the Warriors. And to show that, I would probably do the Warrior sign with the Bay Bridge. I didn't do a very good job there, but I'll show you later. I am from Philadelphia originally. So my way of representing Philly would be a Liberty Bell, because as you know, the Liberty Bell is in Philadelphia, especially if you were in first grade at San Ramon, you know that. I like to bike, so I'll do some kind of a bike. I like to exercise, and my way of showing exercise would be to do a barbell, probably, something like that. I love pizza, so I might put pizza on my picture somewhere. I love pretzels, pretzels, and I'm terrible at drawing pretzels. I really need to work on my pretzels. Look, that looks just ridiculous. Oh, and coffee. Oh, I love coffee. Gotta get coffee on there. And another thing I was thinking about putting on this one, I didn't do this on the last one, but you're going to think, what on earth are you talking about? Spaghetti squash, and you'll see why I want to do that in a little bit. Spaghetti squash is this funny squash that you steam it, and then you can pull it out with a fork, and it looks like spaghetti, but it's a vegetable. It's really odd. Anyway, those are things about me that I want you guys to know. And I'll show you how we're going to do our picture in just a second. Okay, so we're going to have one part of our picture is going to be symbolic, and the other part is going to look a bit like you. And with regard to that, part of your supplies that will be going home will hopefully next Friday will be multicultural crayons. I don't know if they'll be in or not by then, but I'm hoping they will, and they're really nice. It's an 8-pack of just really nice colors that are kind of skin tone kind of colors, so that you can get closer to your skin tone when you're doing art. It's not perfect, but they're pretty close. And those are just nice for lots of things. They're nice for skin. They're nice for like trees. They're nice for plants, stuff like that have a lot of different brown colors. Anyway, all right, let me show you what we're going to be doing for our actual art. Okay. Hi, friends. So what you're going to need for supplies is piece of paper, just a regular piece of printer paper. I have crayons. I have a pencil and an eraser. I have markers. And I have colored pencils. But you don't have to use all those things. A pencil is actually plenty if all you have. That is no big deal. The first thing you're going to do to make sure you get your face large enough on your paper, you are going to start by folding it. So fold it hot dog style. You might remember that from before. And you don't have to fold it really hard. You don't have to make like a really deep crease, because this is just to guide your drawing. So do it kind of softly, actually. So parents, if you're not sure what that means, hot dog means long ways. Hamburger style means this way, so it's shorter and fatter, and then do it one more this way. So when you're finished, and you see I'm not pushing really hard, I'm just doing very light creases. So when you're finished, when you open it up, you should have 2 sides of your paper and 4 rectangles down. So you'll have 8 rectangles all together. Do you guys see that? Okay, great. So now what you're going to do is you're going to start with the oval of your face. And what I would do if I were you is I would start with a whisper touch, which is a word you guys probably have heard me use before, which means your pencil is just going to be really soft on the paper, so that if you don't like how it looks, you can erase it easily and you're not stuck with some dark mark. That's going to be really important this year, because you're not going to have access to all the paper you want. We're going to send some paper home, and then that's all we'll have. So try to be super careful of not ruining your paper when you go to do your art. So start at the very tippy top of your paper, and you're going to start with your oval down one side. Remember, a face is really more of an oval than a circle. It feels like it's a circle, but really it's an oval. And you're going to do your oval all the way down. And you'll notice I kind of keep my hand in one spot, especially on the dominant side there. That makes it easier for me. And I brought the bottom of the chin down to about my first crease here. You can't see that. My first crease there. Okay, you can go a little below it if you want to. Then I'm going to go back up to the top. And I'm just going to try to make it the same on the second side. And if it's not perfect, it's okay, you guys. It does not need to be perfect at all. Do you see how I did that? Okay, so now I have an oval, the top, and the bottom. Now I want to draw my neck. And on my neck, I'm going to do just 2 lines down, and that gives you a neck, and it makes it so it feels like your face isn't sort of like floating all over the paper. And then you'll see you'll have this nice little crease down the middle. That's going to give you one side of your self-portrait is going to look like you and your face, and that's what you want to draw it as. The other side of your picture is going to be a symbol of something you like to do. Okay, so let me show you what that means. When you draw your eye, so I'm going to make this side my realistic side. It doesn't really matter. You can make it either side that you want. My eye, I'm going to put right underneath that first fold and sort of in the, not in the middle of this rectangle, but almost in the middle, closer to this side a little bit. And I'm going to start by doing a little rectangle. I mean, not a rectangle, an oval, sorry. Because really your eyes are an oval. Remember that. So you're going to do a little over there. And I might do another oval over here because I'm going to, though I'm going to put a symbol in this one, I'm going to start with a little oval like that. And then I'll put part of my nose. So really your nose kind of starts up here between your eyes, as funny as that is. If you look in the mirror, you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to have it kind of come like that. And it's just going to be half my nose. And then it'll be half of my mouth. Okay, like that. Half my mouth. And then, excuse me, and then I'm going to put my hair like this. And my hair's gotten kind of long. If your hair is short, obviously you'll put it short. This side I'm not going to put my hair on yet, okay? So then what we're going to do is, so this side's going to be your realistic side. This side's going to be your symbolic side. So I'm going to put some eyelashes in here. And I'll spend more time coloring this in, but I'm not going to make you sit and watch me do all my coloring. So I'm just getting the sort of the major parts in here. This side, to make my symbolic side, I'm going to make it look like an eye just so that I don't look like an alien. But for what I'm going to do for this eye is I'm going to turn it into a tennis ball. Okay? Because remember, this is my symbolic side. Now for the rest of my mouth, I think I'm going to make this part of it a barbell. Okay, like that. I know that's wacky, but remember, now it kind of looks like I have something sticking out of my mouth. I don't think I like that. So I'm going to take that away. That looks a little funky. I don't want to look funky. I'll think about something else to put there instead. What else can I show you? Oh, for the hair, I was thinking I would make that spaghetti squash. So we'll talk more about spaghetti squash later. But that's going to be my symbolic thing for spaghetti squash. Which is one of my favorite foods. That with a little marinara sauce, yummers. And I'm growing them in my garden right now, so they're super fun. All right, so this is the side that's telling my friends about me. I've got tennis on there, so I'm going to do my hiking boot. I'll put a hiking boot over here for the rest of my nose. Okay. Because, hold on. I don't really need to make it look too much like a nose, so I'm going to take that away. I don't want to make it look too nose-like. I'm going to put my hiking boot over here, I think. Okay, so you see how I'm doing this? I'm just putting wacky symbols in. And it's fun. It doesn't have to look like a nose or a mouth. I did that with the eye just because somehow it felt like it was going to be weird if it was only one eye, but maybe it would have been fine. All right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to draw the rest of mine, and then I'm going to show you what I have when I'm finished, okay? I'll be back in a second. Okay, friends, here is my finished product, and I just wanted to point a couple things out to you. So you see one side is kind of realistic. It's not exactly realistic, but kind of realistic. And the other side is I'm using my imagination, and it's symbolic of things I like, okay? One thing I want to point out, when I did my 2 oval eyes with you, and then when I did the round part, the actual color part, that's called the iris of your eye, you don't usually see the full circle. Sometimes people, when they're drawing their eye, let me get another piece of paper, will do this. They'll do the oval, and then they'll do like a little tiny eye in the middle, and then say, okay, there's my eye. But if you look in the mirror, you're going to see, you don't usually see the entire round iris of your eye. You usually just see part of it, and then this is, you know, your eyelid, the top and the bottom, are usually covering part of the top and the bottom of the circle. So think about that when you're drawing eyes, because that will make it look a little bit more realistic, okay? You also want to make sure you put your pupil in the inside. That's the black part, and that's the part that's actually a hole that goes in your eye, and that's what goes into your brain so you can see stuff. So cool, huh? All right. Also, don't forget your eyebrow, because everyone has an eyebrow. And then I did half the nose and half the mouth. I think I did that in front of you. And then I just colored it in as closely as I could. I don't have great multicultural crayons right now, but, you know, I did the best I could. If you do, great, go for it. Use what you have. Then on this side, what I did, you'll see I turned the other eye into a tennis ball. I made my eyebrow on this side a barbell. This is supposed to be a vase, a pottery vase, because I like to do pottery. There's my hiking boot. There's my warrior symbol. There's my Philadelphia Liberty Bell. There's a Crayola crayon for the rest of my mouth, because I thought that kind of made sense. I put my San Francisco Giants logo there. Pizza, biking, coffee, and my family's up here, and my dog is right there, Cooper. And what I did was I added, I really like to garden, and I forgot about that, and I thought of it as I was drawing. So I thought, well, I'll add my flowers now. So I added some flowers in there just to make it look kind of fun. And then this side of my hair is all my spaghetti squash coming down. So as you'll see, so one side is symbolic of who I am. The other side is more realistic. And then, of course, you're going to want to put your name on here somewhere so that when your friends see it, they say, oh, that is so-and-so. Right, so Mrs. C. And then maybe, I don't know what your teachers will want to do. They might just want to post them. But I was thinking if they wanted to, you guys could actually share, and you could explain all the symbols to them so that they understand everything about you. Or maybe when you email it, maybe they'll want you to put a list of the items that were the symbolic things on the one side so that they learn a little bit more about you. Because it's always handy to all know about each other, and you get to learn so many cool things. So I hope you guys have a great time with this, symbolizing who you are and also portraying yourself as a self-portrait. And I can't wait to see what you come up with. If you want to take a picture and send it to me, I always love seeing your art. My email is kchassman, CHASSMAN, @NUSD.org. All right, have a great day. Bye, guys.